be nice if you could go to the drugstore and get all the products that you need from one brand so that you're taking the guesswork out of blush from this brand, mascara from that brand. Today, I think I've got you covered because I'm a big fan of many of the Maybelline products. In fact, I looked at all the drugstore products that I use, and by far, I use more Maybelline. So for the products of Maybelline that I didn't have, blush, some eyeshadows, some bronzer, I picked up some new products. So today I'm going to do a full face of Maybelline, not sponsored. I have purchased all these products myself, and I was looking through other videos and noticed that there's quite a few maybe sponsored L'Oreal videos, full face of L'Oreal. That's not me. I'm gonna do a full face of Maybelline because I've really liked their products lately. So if you're ready to do a full face of drugstore products in all one brand, so when you go to the drugstore and you just have the list of products, you can just go to one little section and make it a whole lot easier on yourself. So let's get started. All right, first up, we're gonna use the Maybelline SuperStay Skin Tint. I love this product, especially as we're going into summer months. It is a sheer to medium coverage. It is a natural, little bit of a glow finish. It comes in a droplet. Not everyone loves that. I don't mind it because I put it right on a fluffy brush. I like to use a fluffy powder brush for my foundation. This is one by BS Mall. You can get these on Amazon. I'll link them down below. I am a fan of these brushes. I think they work great. I've washed them several times and the bristles don't come out after I use them. The thing I like about this SuperStay by Maybelline is it is a nice medium coverage with a glow. So it's not so cakey. And what I have underneath my skin is my sunscreen and some moisturizer. Highly recommend using a sunscreen and a moisturizer before you ever apply any foundation, any skin tint, anything that you want in terms of your makeup. If you want it to look nice and last, it should go on a nice, soft, hydrated canvas. And hydrated means some moisturizer. But you can see how easy that blends out. It just gives a nice natural glow. It's not a semi-matte, it's just a light foundation. So for those of you that don't like to wear a heavier, more full coverage, this is a really nice foundation. I've worn it since it came out and I think it's fantastic. Now I've got a little bit of discoloration right there on the inner corner of my eye. I am going to use a little more foundation for that, and we will touch it up with some concealer, but I like to use foundation first, just a really thin coat, because I like to be able to not have so thick of a product through here that it starts to look a little cakey. So I like to just go with a nice sheer coverage everywhere, and you'll see I'm even putting that foundation where I would normally put concealer. It's a skin tint, so it's a lighter formula than many of the concealers that you would find. So I like the coverage without a thicker formula. Thin formula equals less caking and settling into fine lines and wrinkles. I carry some darkness underneath my eyes. I get a little hollow there, so I am going to with the, is this Age Rewind? I always want to say a dry eraser, but this is the Age Rewind Eraser Concealer by Maybelline. I have it in color 160. It's a pink color. It does come with a sponge tip applicator. I tear that off because I just feel like that is just bacteria waiting to happen. So I tear it off as soon as I get it home. I'm gonna take a small synthetic brush, pick up that concealer. And again, this is in shade 160. It's very much a light pink color, and I need it really lightly to brighten this under eye area. If you are not sure how to brighten your under eye area, if you have more hollow areas under your eyes, I'll link a video right here that I just recently did last week on how to help camouflage the hollowness under your eyes. It's a great hack. You just need to have the right type of brightener under your eye and know how to layer the products and then where to put the product so that it is actually helping with the hollowness of the eyes and not making your whole under eye area look a little bit too grayish or too bright. So check that video out if you struggle with that. I also added a little bit of that concealer on top of my eyelid just to neutralize any discoloration that I carry through there, which I tend to get a little bit pink. Now, if you don't have hollow eyes, you can use the eraser in any other concealer color. I also have, this is in 110 if you need an actual concealer, but I like the pink one, the 160, to brighten that under eye area. And you can see how that just fills in that hollowness right underneath the eyes and makes it look like Not quite my 30-year-old under eyes, but a little closer. For blush, I'm using a new product by Maybelline. This is their Sun Kisser blush. It's a liquid blush. I have it in color 05 Blazing Blush. I have not used their, oh, I like it already. It's in a big doe foot applicator. Because of this doe foot applicator, you could go right on your cheeks and then blend it. I just find that wherever you first stamp it, it tends to stay there and then you have to blend it around. Instead, I'll just put it on the back of my hand, pick it up with a fluffy brush. That way it sort of diffuses the color on the brush before you put it on your cheeks. That's really pretty. That actually has some highlight in it. I guess that's why it's called Sun Kisser. I don't know how well that's gonna show up in camera, but it's really pretty. I can almost see adding that as a little highlighter up on your brow if you wanted. It's not real pigmented, you guys, so you are less likely to make a mistake. And in summer, you don't want a strong blush look. You really want just this fun highlighted, little bit of a flush look to your cheeks. And that is what I am getting here. Now I'm just gonna add a little bit more to see if it's buildable without looking too cakey in case you want to take this product from day wear to night wear, and it definitely is buildable. It's showing up better, and it's not highlighting the pores on my face, which is good because when I do have pores show, it's usually right through here and right through here on my chin. So I'm loving that color. Again, that's color 05. Love that from a blush perspective. Next, I want to add a little bit of contour, so I picked up the Lifter Stick. This is also a new product by Maybelline. This is in color 65, and I'm just gonna quickly do a little bit of contour right up around my hairline, a little bit across the jawline, and I might just go a little bit right like that. I love a contour, but in summer I like to go a little lighter on the contour. I'm gonna blend this out with another BS small brush. This comes in the same pack, and I think the whole kit of these brushes are under like $20 on Amazon. I'm a big fan of them. I mean, I love a big fluffy powder brush for blending out my cream or liquid contours because I feel like it allows me to go fast. It blends it out without leaving any streaks or harsh lines. It just diffuses the entire color without being able to see where I placed it, which is what I like. Now, I will tell you that with this contour, it's hot in here today and I have a lot of lights on, so I wouldn't say it dried in place, but you want to work a little faster to blend it out than I probably did, but it just takes a little more work, but it still blends out nice. I feel like I can kind of see where I put that first streak, if you will, but we're gonna just blend it out. It'll be fine. Okay, so far, I'm liking the new products. Now I feel like we need just a little bit of bronzer to give it a summer glow. I picked up Sunkissed in, is it Sunkiss or Sunkisser? Sunkisser. Sunkisser in the same line as that blush. This is in shade 11. I really like this packaging. It's very similar to their Lifter Gloss. So let me just put these together so that we can kind of see. Blush, gloss, bronzer. Easy, easy, easy. Now if that could all just come in one compact, that would really be cool. All right, as I said, I have this in shade 11, same large doe foot applicator. Because it's bronzer, I'm just gonna use that same brush that I used with the contour. And I'm just gonna do a quick, ooh, this is really pretty. That's got a really nice glow to it. So I'm just gonna do a figure 8, which means I'm just going around the top of my forehead, down the sides, underneath the cheekbone, back behind my jawbone, across the chin, anywhere the sun would sort of give you a little bit of a kiss. Same on this side, just to give a little glow to the skin. And that is really pretty. I would do a light hand on this because I can see where it could go from beautiful to Tin Man from Wizard of Oz real quick. But if you just go on the back of your hand first, diffuse it, and then apply it, you would be just fine. But gosh, that's really pretty. I hope that little healthy glow is showing up. Now, another thing you could do with this, if you like more of a no makeup look, you could apply this first on the majority of your face and then apply your foundation if it's a sheer to medium coverage. And that will give you that glow from within because it's coming from underneath. Really pretty. That is something I will do also now that I have all these products. But just a quick tip if you like more of that just glow from within, but a real easy look, put on all of your sculpting products first, your contour, your blush, your bronzer, and then apply your foundation over all of it. It's a technique, like I said, called undersculpting, and it's a really nice way to finish all of your makeup. All right, so now let's move on to the eyes. You guys, if you watched my Friday Face Off, you already know I love Maybelline's Express Brow. This is a brow product that wears very much like a mascara. I love this product. However, I have also really loved the other product that I compared this one to. It is a L'Oreal product. It's the Fake Brow. I like the thickness that this gives my brow, but I like this one by L'Oreal in the front so that you can extend the brow really where you want it to be. So just a tip, if you like this fluffy look, but you want to extend your brow to make it appear longer, this makes it a little difficult, but it is doable. Because of the bristles on this that are almost like a small mascara wand, you can create little individual hairs. And if that happens and you get a little glob too much, just wipe it off. It's super easy. The other reason I like this is not only do you get a thickness or a fullness to your brow, it's not a solid brow, so it looks natural. And the way the formula works, it lasts all day without having to add a brow gel. It doesn't transfer, and it doesn't feel stiff after it dries down. Now, I've lightened my hair a little bit, so this 255 shade is probably a shade too dark. I need to go one shade lighter with it. And remember, eyebrows are supposed to be sisters and not twins, and that's what we've got going on right now. So now I want to clean up the brow. I'm just going to go back to my foundation, put it on the back of my hand, get a small little brush, and just carve that brow out. I'm still using Maybelline products for this. I just like a clean line to my brows. And not everybody does, so you don't have to do this step. I just think it gives a more polished look to a brow that doesn't really have the same shape that it used to have back in the day. And this way, if you make a couple mistakes, and gosh, who doesn't? Especially as my eyesight's getting worse and I'm farther from the mirror, which is why small handled brushes, pro tip, small handled brushes are a lot easier as it's harder for you to see, because with that small brush you can get a lot closer to your mirror. So if you find that you're struggling with the mirror, that just might help. Big fan of the Express Brow by Maybelline. Next, we're gonna add a product that I have not used before. This is the Color Tattoo Cream Eyeshadow Pencils by Maybelline. This is called Color Tattoo 24-Hour Stick. It's a little pencil. It goes on like a cream eyeshadow would. I like that it has a nice point on the end, and it says that these last 24 hours. Now I'm gonna use this for a couple different ways. Right now I'm just gonna go put it in the crease. You guys can see how I'm just gonna put that up there like that. I wanna make sure that my angles are pretty much the same. And then I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush and just slightly blur those out. Now, if you have droopy eyelids, you want to put this dark color on the forward part of the droop. You don't want to put this underneath the droop, or it will highlight that droopiness in front. So wherever you have that droop right through here, put that darker color on this outside, the droop that you can see, and that will in essence make that part look farther back. And I do have some of that, so you'll see me blend that darker shade up onto the droop. If you've got deep set eyes, you don't want to put that dark color in your crease. It will in essence highlight the deep setness of your eyes. This darker color blends out nice and creamy. This next color I bought is I Am Confident. It's got a little bit of a glow to it, so I'm going to put that down the center of my eye and just blend it from corner to corner, going into the crease. I'm gonna pick up that same fluffy brush. Yeah, these blend out really nice and creamy. I should have picked up a couple more colors. I only picked up 3. Blend out really nice. They don't look patchy. They don't look dry. They're not highlighting any wrinkles on my eyelids, and I do have them. So I'm a fan of these. These sell for about $10 each. Now, the thing I was a little taken back by, you guys, about these cream eyeshadows, and I do love them, but they sell for $10 each. So to get 3 eyeshadow sticks was $30. You can get some nice palettes for $30, so I wasn't sure if I felt like I was getting a good deal. 3 eyeshadow colors for 30 bucks. So let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm being too picky. It does look like you get a lot of product, and maybe you just need one to add to your collection. If you want to try a cream eyeshadow stick, if you've never tried one, then $10 is a pretty comfortable entry point, I think, to see if you're gonna like it. Now the other one that I have is sorry, I think I misled you. This one that I just used is I Am Shining. This is a very similar color, and this one is I Am Confident. So I will apply it right here. It's just the same light color. It's just more of a flat color. So for that, I'm gonna go right underneath my brows. I could have just used this instead of my foundation. And I'm just gonna give a little bit more shape to the brow. So once you line it, just go in and you can use your finger and blend it out. Yeah, these are really creamy. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with how creamy these are. All right, I like that. I feel like I want more of this highlight, so I'm gonna go back onto my lashes and really build it up. That way we can also see if it's buildable. It looks pretty buildable. Yeah, they're definitely buildable without looking cakey or dry or accentuating the wrinkles. I'm a big fan so far of these. If you like a cream eyeshadow, you guys, these are pretty darn impressive. So now I'll go back to the darker one, I Am Determined, and just line my lashes and use this as an eyeliner. These go on really creamy. They're not tugging at all. I am impressed. Maybelline's done an amazing job. A lot of the drugstore brands, you guys have just come out with some great products, really giving the more luxury brands a run for their money, in my opinion. And there's no need to go spend a ton of money unless you just like the experience. Obviously, the packaging sometimes is luxurious and feels nice in your hands. Sometimes you can get a shade or a formula in a more expensive luxury brand that maybe you can't find at the drugstore, or maybe just like the experience of going into a department store and feeling everything. I totally get that. But if that's not you, and you want to have confidence in the products that you're buying, and you don't want to feel like you have to go to the drugstore, it's not oh, I can only afford drugstore stuff anymore. It's, hey, I'm not gonna waste my money for no reason because I can get just as good of products at the drugstore. And so far, I'm pretty impressed with this Maybelline. Now I am gonna put some eyeliner on the upper lashes. I just need to curl my lashes first because I just don't go a day without curling my lashes. So I'm gonna go back to that cream eyeshadow and just line my lashes right on top of my lashes from that outer corner to about 2/3 of the way in, and then blend it down into the lash line. And then just take any type of a brush, and I like to just smudge that out a little bit so it looks a little bit less like a line and more like it's my thick lashes that just happen to be natural. Not. Now I like to connect my lower lash line with my upper lash line. Not everyone does that. I just happen to like the final look when I do that. You guys, I also want to take a minute while we're doing our eyeliner to thank you for becoming a channel ambassador. For those of you that have, it's $1 a month. Well, it's 99 cents a month, and you can cancel anytime. So essentially $12 a year. So I post 8 videos a month on average. If you've gotten $1 worth of value out of the 8 videos a month, then I would encourage you to be a channel ambassador. It's how I pay for the products that I use for the channel. It just helps me to keep this as a business. And so far, 23 of you have become channel ambassadors. So essentially that's $23 a month that helps buy products. So big thanks to those 23 of you that have become channel ambassadors. You can do it by just hitting that join button down below. Now I think what we can do, you guys, is to make this more of a summer glow look. I'm gonna go back to that bronzer that we used and just add a touch of that right onto my eyelids to just give it a little bit more of a, like I said, a bronze look. I'm just picking that up with a synthetic brush, and I'm just gonna go right on top of that liner and pull it out just to give a, like I said, a little bit of a bronze look to that outer eyelid. You can put this over your whole eyelid if you want to darken up the whole look. I just want to go, well, I never know what I'm going to do. I just keep going till we're done with it and see what the final look is. Yeah, I like that better. So I'm just gonna continue to blend that out on the eyelid. It looks like about half of the eyelid is the look that I'm happy with. So we'll go to this other side and do the same thing. What do you think? You like that look? I think I really like that look. It's a nice summer glow look. So now let's finish up the look with my favorite mascara by Maybelline. This is Fireworks. I love this mascara. It has become one of my favorites. I like it because it doesn't transfer underneath my eyes. It lasts all day. It doesn't look harsh or sticky. My lashes don't look like they're all stuck together. It fans them out really nicely, partly because of how small the bristles are in that brush. So I'm a big, big fan of Fireworks, but I like a big, I wouldn't say bold lash, but maybe it's bold. There will not be a video this Friday, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit the notification button so that when the next video comes out, which will be next week, right on schedule, then you will be notified of that video. I'm just gonna take a weekend off with my husband and not film on Friday. All right, last but not least, we gotta do the lips, and you guys have seen me talk about these before. These Lifter Liner Lip Liners by Maybelline. Big fan. I have them in 3 different shades because I like them so much. This one is Big Lift. These are very creamy. The formula feels very similar to that cream eyeshadow that we just put on. This one's Player. It's a little warmer tone than Big Lift. And believe it or not, my third one is also Big Lift. I don't know how I did that. I must really like Big Lift. So let's go with Big Lift. I like these, you guys. They do last a long time. They go on creamy and smooth if you're not talking. Otherwise, it looks like I'm really coloring outside the lines. Pretty soon I'm gonna do an updated lip makeup tutorial for you guys because I've changed the way I apply my makeup products and I really like it. So you don't have to wait for that video. One of the quickest changes I've made is I just don't line the corner of my lips anymore. And I think it's because as I've gotten older, my lips are starting to disappear, obviously, but this part of my face is kind of coming down onto my lips. So when I lip line this, it just makes the whole thing look more turned down. So you want to leave this outer corner not with a lip liner, and it just changes the fullness of the lips. You can also outline the lips. I don't like to do that because I feel like the older I get, just the more clownish that looks. Now I do want to bring to your attention, I'm going to wipe off the makeup on the back of my hand with the same makeup towelette I've been using. I am rubbing pretty hard, and what is remaining is that darker cream eyeshadow that we applied in the crease as well as the liner and these Lifter Liner lip liners. Big fan, and that's a good reason to show you why I'm a big fan of them. So now we'll go to the Lifter Gloss. This is in shade 120 Gummy Bear. It goes so nice on these lip liners and lasts all day. The other good thing I like about them is they're not sticky. So if you are somewhere where you get a little bit of wind and your hair tends to stick in your lip gloss, there's nothing worse. It's just so annoying. You're constantly going like this and then the stickiness goes everywhere else. Not a fan. So this passes the stickiness test, the lip glosses. So there's a full face of Maybelline makeup. I want to change just a little something. I don't love that liner. I feel like it's too dark with this overall makeup. So I'm gonna wipe my lips off. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this bronzer that we used, and I'm going to mix it with our Lifter Gloss. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a prettier gloss look with the overall look we have going on today. Pick them both up. I'm gonna mix those together. Yeah, I think that looks better. I think that Big Lift was just a little too dark of a liner, so it just made the look a little too dark. I think I like that better. Well, I'm really impressed with the way these products went on. From the cream eyeshadows to that bronzer to that contour stick, all of it went on really easy. They're buildable, they're blendable, and there's really no reason to go spend a ton of money if you don't want to. If you can go to one brand and make it a lot easier on yourself and get all the products from one brand, like I said, instead of having to go to L'Oreal for this or to CoverGirl for that, if you can go to one brand and find everything from your mascara to your cheek products, to your lip products, and your foundations, then it just simplifies the process. And I think we found out today that you can do an entire full face of makeup all from Maybelline. Well, that does it for me today, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if there's a brand that you like to buy all your products from, and if this video has been helpful for you to really narrow down and simplify the process so that you can go to just one counter and get everything that you need. I will see you guys in just a couple days. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.